Hello everyone, I welcome you all to Focus of the Day session of ANALYST IAS. In this particular session, we will discuss about the topic NMFT conference or No Money for Terror conference. We will have this particular discussion in the following series. First, why in news, followed by about the conference, followed by prelims practice question, followed by mains practice question. But before we start our discussion, I want you all to be informed about various courses of Analyst IAS, which include Polity class, which will start from 21st of November, CSAT class, which will start from 14th of November, and Current 365 class, which will start from 9th of January 2023. And along with that, we will soon launch Public Administration optional course. So you can inquire about any of the following on the given number. And you can also visit our official address, that is in Old Rajinder Nagar Market. So now let's move on to our topic of discussion and see why it is in news. The Third Ministerial No Money for Terror conference will be hosted by Ministry of Home Affairs with representative of 75 countries and global bodies. Previous conferences were held in Paris in 2018 and Melbourne in Australia in 2019. So this was about what the conference is. Now we will discuss in detail about this particular conference. It aimed to discuss key issues including the use of dark web, virtual asset, crowdfunding platform, money transfer services scheme and the Hawala network by the terrorist entities. To discuss global trend in terrorism and terrorist financing, the use of formal and informal channels of funding terrorism, emerging technologies and terrorist financing, and requires international cooperation to address the related challenges. The declaration acknowledged the essential role of the FATF or Financial Action Task Force in this regard, and asked member states to enhance the traceability and transparency of the financial transactions. So this was about the conference. Now we will discuss in detail about the dark web. The dark web is the part of the World Wide Web or the internet that is not indexed by the search engines. It uses a technology called the onion routing, which protect users from surveillance and tracking through a random path of the encrypted servers. Such as when users access a site through Tor, their information is routed through thousands of relay points that cover the user's track and make their browsing virtually impossible to trace. People use the dark web for both legal as well as the illegal purposes. Illegal uses include buying and selling of illegal drugs, weapons, passwords and stolen identities, as well as trading of illegal pornography and other potential harmful material, as well as malwares, DOS attack, espionage, etc. The dark web anonymity has also led to cybersecurity threat and various data breaches. So this was about dark web. Now we will discuss in detail about the FATF or Financial Action Task Force. The FATF is an international watchdog for the financial crimes such as money laundering and terror financing. It was established at the G7 summit of 1989 in Paris, and it aimed to address the loopholes in the global financial system after member countries raised concern about growing money laundering activities. The FATF currently has 39 members and India is a member country. The FATF sets standard or recommendation for the countries to achieve in order to plug the holes in their financial system and make them less vulnerable to illegal financial activities. It also conducts regular peer-reviewed evaluation called the mutual evaluations of the countries to check their performance on standard prescribed by it. FATF releases two kind of list. The first one is the grey list and the second one is the blacklist. At the end of every plenary meeting, FATF comes out with these two lists. The grey list or the grey list countries are designated as jurisdiction under increased monitoring, working with the FATF to counter the criminal financial activities. While as for the blacklist countries, it means that countries designated as the high-risk jurisdiction subject to call for action. In this case, the countries have considerable deficiency in their AML or CFT, that means anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing regimes, and the body calls on members and non-members to apply enhanced due diligence. In most serious cases, members are told to apply countermeasures such as sanctions on the listed countries. Currently, North Korea and Iran are on the blacklist of FATF, while Pakistan was there in the grey list. Now, the consequence of being in the list is that being listed under the FATF list make it hard for the countries to get aid from the organizations like IMF, ADB or European Union. And it may also affect the capital inflows and foreign direct investment and portfolio flows. So this was about FATF and this topic. Now we will move on to our prelims practice question, which says with reference to the Web 3.0, consider the following statement. Web 3.0 technology enables people to control their own data. In Web 3.0 world, there can be a blockchain-based social networks. Web 3.0 is operated by users collectively rather than a corporation. So you have to pick up the correct statement. Your options are A, 1 and 2 only, B, 2 and 3 only, C, 1 and 3 only, and D, all of the above. Pick up the correct statement and write it in comment box. I will answer this question in my next video. Now we will move on to our yesterday's question, which said which orbit is also known as Molniya orbit. So the correct answer for this particular question is A, that is medium earth orbit. Now we will move on to our mains practice question, which says effective counter-terrorism requires a more comprehensive strategy. It requires a constant process of evaluation and adjustment. Comment in the light of India's zero tolerance policy on terrorism. You have to answer this particular question in 250 words. Write your answer and send it to us on our WhatsApp number to get it reviewed. So this is all for today. Stay tuned with Analyst IAS to get further update. Thank you.